Hey everyone, welcome to Golden Wrestling Talk. We're your hosts, Month 1321.
And GoldenMuddHDgaming.
First topic we're going to talk about...
Alright, normally we would do this in chronological order, but since NXT was far better than SmackDown,
far better.
We decide to save the best for last. We're not saying SmackDown sucks, it's just saying...
This one did.
Kinda boring.
This one definitely did.
But this is the SmackDown episode of December 17th, 2015. Basically, on SmackDown, I'm not really going to touch upon storyline stuff, because it's not really... There's not a lot happening.
I do want to touch on what happened at the main event, though.
I do too. But basically, Reigns, he opened up, he fought off security. I like how...
he wrecked that one dude.
I know, like, he was like, oh, you're not tall enough to go over these top ropes, I'm gonna...
Yeah, like, he got stuck, and then he was like, oh, you didn't go over the first time? Well, fuck you. And then just, like, completely destroyed him by just throwing him outside the ring. And he just landed face first.
I like how, I think it was a promo with Triple H or something like that, like, years ago. I was like, this isn't even real security.
I marked that down as guy gets wrecked.
Not bad, but I just love Reigns as champion. It's just like, wow, he actually has it, you know. But anyways, I'm not going to dive too deep into that. Match 1 out of 5 is Del Rio versus Ryback. I just feel like this is awkward booking in the sense of this match didn't really make sense.
When Ryback came out, I'm like, oh, it's going to be another boring match. Whenever he comes out, I'm just...
Like, I really want them to push Jack Swagger. I really do. But, I don't know. Del Rio versus Ryback, the match was just kind of... Nah. It was decent, because the heel did his job. But Ryback is this big guy, and he just can't topple a guy like Del Rio.
There was a mess-up in that match, too, which is another reason I gave it a low rating. Did you see that?
There was a lot of mess-ups. Like I'm going to touch upon NXT TakeOver. I'm not going to dive too deep into that right now, but Dash and Dawson, they didn't really look like they knew what they were doing, which kind of bothered me. Yeah. But anyways, back on to SmackDown. League of Nations interfered. No, not
which
really
was very predictable.
It was a distraction. It was a very predictable. I could have, if I really sat down and thought about it, I could be like, all right, this is...
Well, no, I already knew it was going to happen. Actually...
Yeah.
Hold on. In every single match, except for New Day versus Lucha Dragons,
There's
single
some
match.
type of interference.
Yeah, there was someone in every single match that came out. Which it's like, I already saw that coming for each match.
Yeah.
Like Charlotte coming out on the Brie Bella, Becky Lynch. I saw that happening. Like, duh.
Yeah, like, we read that, like, easy. But, it was, then they attacked them after the match. It was... but they need Wade Barrett to actually do something. But the only reason why they're not using him as much is because he's injured. So they're not going to use him in competition until probably Mania. Which he's such a good wrestler. He's like 5-time Intercontinental Champion. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, he's accomplished so much, but he just isn't noticed for it. But anyways, that was a match. I gave it a 4 out of 10.
I gave it a 5.
It wasn't aesthetically pleasing. It was just bleh.
It mostly because of that mess up I saw, and it was very boring. The mess up, I don't know if you saw it, but like Del Rio was running towards Ryback, and then Ryback went to go do the thing where he jumps on them and pounds on him, or he does the thing where he picks him up and then drops him on the floor. But he kind of just like jumped on Del Rio and nothing happened.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I brought it down to 5. But yeah, next match.
Alright, actually, Goldust was funny in that promo.
I told you, it was hilarious.
Yeah. And then he's like, it was great. But,
I wrote that down as Goldust is awesome.
I put Goldust as funny AF.
It's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, the Tyson O'Neil in singles competition doesn't really make sense to me. They're kind of just ruining a tag team that has a lot of potential, which kind of bothers me. But I guess they're trying to get their new big guy as Tyson.
They're breaking up Primetime again?
Yeah, which makes no sense, but I mean, it kind of does. because they need that big dominant force again, which is like, but Titus O'Neil's an.
It doesn't seem like primetime
nothing.
players or Darren Young was really. He doesn't seem like he's getting much showtime either. Like even when he was champion,
he's like a David Otunga in the sense that he's still on the roster, but they don't use him.
Yeah.
But
it was a short match. Just saying. So I didn't really care too much about the rating, so I just gave it a 1.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it was a very short, boring match. I gave it a 1.
Now,
The only thing that was entertaining was Goldust.
I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I rated the match and what happened during the match with Goldust. I gave it a 7.
What?
10. Just for the mere fact of Goldust, and I mean, I guess trying to build that rivalry. And I like O'Neil's finisher. It's really, I really like it.
It looks like you wrecked him, yeah.
But I guess I'll drop it down to a 6. Now I'm thinking about it, because I was kind of just watching it because I kind of had to, because I was gonna do it last night, but I had to watch Takeover, and then my girlfriend came over, so like
Yeah.
So I just watched it about half an hour ago. So, all right. So I give that match a 6 out of 10. Match 3, New Day versus Luchas. I like how they're unicorn.
I know. Oh my
unicorn,
god.
and like hit the unicorn.
They're
It
like
was
the
great.
only promo,
And
it's like the only promos that I like to watch is
I know.
New Days because they're so entertaining. I think a lot of the roster needs to learn how to be. The thing is, it doesn't make any sense for them to be heel.
Yeah, I'm strong.
Yeah, but doesn't that make no sense? Is that they're heel and they're this funny?
I mean, yeah, whatever. It's like Kofi's like a twerking time. It's like, no, Kofi.
Yeah, they're like no.
And I like how Big E gave I think Booker T that paper. Was like, read this. He's like, I can't say that on TV. But I just love the New Day. That added to my rating. I should actually rate this higher. I'm doing that.
That finisher was the finishing move was
it was like
crazy.
Boom, boom, pow, powerbomb. It was sweet. It was a good ending. Kalisto was very entertaining. Along with the New Day. And I really like how Sin Cara just kind of jumped over Kofi onto Big E.
Which I thought he wasn't supposed to land on Big E or something, but then I realized what else would he be jumping onto, because then he would just land on the floor and hurt his ass.
Looked like he kind of like landed on Big E's neck, but
he landed on his shoulder.
Anyways, that was. I like the ending. So I rate that match 8 out of 10.
The rest of the match was boring.
Yeah, the rest of the match was boring except for the end, but just the mere fact of the New Day being entertaining, and Kalisto and Sin Cara and Kofi and Xavier had a somewhat decent match. So I give it an 8 out of 10.
Well, I gave it a 7 because the match was boring. The match was boring, but I did like a lot of the moves they did. I loved the finisher, the promo before it, so 7 out of 10.
I originally gave it a 7. Yeah, it really was. All right, I know that we're like blistering through this, but
we're trying to make the episode short, not too long.
Match 4, Becky Lynch versus. I like how I just wrote Becky Lynch's name, not even Brie Bella.
Fuck her, right?
All right, I was like Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah, we haven't even been mentioning. I wrote this down for a reason. Just saying, Del Rio versus Ryback. Del Rio got the win because of the interruption. Titus O'Neil versus Tyler Breeze. Titus O'Neil got the win. New Day versus Lucha Dragons. Lucha Dragons got the win.
So maybe I should start saying like the lineup and the matches. I think I did that during TLC.
I put a W and an L next to their name, whatever.
I just circle who won. All right, so we have Becky Lynch versus Brie Bella. Becky Lynch won. It was a decent match, but the only thing that I had an issue with, it's a thing that me and Robert call a one-side match, meaning. Now I'm saying this from experience. Now wrestling needs. There's two people involved for a reason. You need both people to be somewhat experienced and somewhat entertaining. You guys need to have good synergy. and having one person just kind of carrying the whole match is kind of But
you can tell too when it's just one person carrying the match.
And Brie Bella is she's stay on Total Divas.
She has like, I'm not trying to bash on her because I really do like her. She was one of my favorites for like 2 weeks. She was my favorite. I know it's not long, but she was cool. But she only has like 2 or 3 moves.
And it's like Becky Lynch is so good, but nonetheless, I didn't write anything for this match, but it was a good match.
The predictable ending,
very predictable. I like how this kind of gears her toward a title shot. I feel like that she's gonna get a title shot either Fastlane or Rumble, which
hopefully it's a triple threat with Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch.
And then I hope after that it escalates to a Fatal 4-Way, including Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
But I liked Becky Lynch is one of the best technical divas, and best wrestling divas. Not just flashy, and it's just she's one of the best. And I gave that match an 8 out of 10. Call me crazy because Brie Bella was horrible. Oh,
I gave it a 4.
Blah, blah.
I gave it a 4 out of 10.
I just like it because I look back to that match with Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks at TakeOver a few months ago, and it was such a good match. And it's just, I know what Becky Lynch can do, and I feel like that she's just halted on SmackDown.
Well, I gave the match a 4 because the predictable ending kind of pissed me off, you know. And then again, Brie Bella was kind of sloppy. She also only did like 3 or 4 moves, and And what's the thing with Team Bad cheering on Brie Bella? Is Brie Bella face? See, here's a thing that WWE needs to fix. Who the hell is face and who's heel? Can they please get this clear? Because I don't understand.
So, like, nowadays, like, there's no clear face or heel, barring Bray Wyatt. It's kind of confusing, but it is what it is.
It's more towards the divas though, because it's like you can't with the superstars. It is kind of the same as divas, but with the superstars, it's more clear of who's face and who's heel. But with the divas, it's like Big Show, where they just say, "Go out there, you're this tonight," you know.
Pretty much.
So that's all I have to say about the divas. I don't know if we said the rank yet, but yeah, I gave it a 4. And just to make sure we said this, Becky Lynch got the W, got the win.
Yeah, she did. And the reason why we're so jumbled up is because I had some IRL stuff to do. We've been trying to get this match done for like a half an hour now.
Yeah. So.
All right. Now, moving on, we have the last match of the card: Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. Who won?
Dolph Ziggler. Did I say Dolph Diggler? I don't know. Dolph Ziggler got a win by DQ because Kevin Owens beat the shit out of him until the referee was like, "Holy crap, dude, this is PG." So
now I wrote this down. Kevin Owens versus Lesnar at Mania, Suplex City, bitch.
I don't know.
But the match was all right. But the only thing that I know, Robert, I know you touched upon this in your thing, is that Ziggler kicked Ambrose.
Yeah.
He super kicked Ambrose. I'm pretty sure that's what you wrote down.
I just put turn with a question mark. I wasn't sure what was going on. I don't know if he was confused because I don't know if you watched his promo or not, but the way he was talking and stuff, the way he's acting recently as well. I think he's turning heel. I'm not sure.
I legit put Ziggler heel turn.
Oh, but when I saw that it was Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler, I wrote down, "Oh my God, it's favorite versus favorite," because right now my favorites are Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins. Those are all 3 of my top that are wrestling right now, except Seth Rollins is injured right now. So, but at the end of the match, Kevin Owens. It was a great match, by the way. I mean, it was a little boring because there wasn't like it. You know, you want hardcore, but PG, and it's just a small match. But anyways, it was good back and forth, though. It was good back and forth.
It really was.
Fave versus Fave. The ending of the match was like, again, Kevin Owens wanted to tear apart Dolph Ziggler. He said it in his promo. He said he wanted to put him in the hospital. So he was beating him up. The referee told Kevin Owens to stop. Kevin Owens went to go get in the ring, turned around to have a second thought, and then started beating the shit out of Dolph Ziggler again, which led to DQ, and then he kept beating him up. He was about to do some sort of move onto the steel steps. I think it was a powerbomb. Then Dean Ambrose came out, interrupted, got Kevin Owens out of there, and then as Dolph Ziggler was walking away, Kevin Owens hit him in the face. Well, it was a super kick, right?
Yep.
Super kick to the face. Dean Ambrose scared him off again, and then when he was helping him up, Dolph Ziggler super kicked him in the face.
And I'm pretty sure like he was like not like how he really did, but like storyline wise, I'm pretty sure he knew that he was there.
He looked pissed off.
He really did. And I just feel like that his character right now is he's tired of just being this mid-card guy, almost getting there.
Yeah. See, he said that in his promo too. He said, he says, I never can pull it off, can I? So I was like, uh-oh. Because no face usually talks like that. So
yeah.
Here we go with heel Ziggler. At least this heel will be like the angry, pissed off Ziggler, and not like the look at me looking at myself in the mirror type thing.
Yeah.
Remember that? And then it went to Cody Rhodes doing that. But
yeah.
anyways, I rate that an 8 because it was good back and forth.
I rate that an 8 as well. My rating for the show, it was tough, but the end of the show was what really made it. So I gave it a 6.5. I originally gave it a 7.
I gave it a 4 because the entire show was predictable. Each match I gave a low rating because they were, except the only matches that were good was New Day versus Lucha Dragons and Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. Everything else was predictable and crappy, so
yep,
4 out of 10. So we're moving on to NXT TakeOver,
Segwaying.
NXT TakeOver.
Whew. Ooh. Alright. So by the way, you guys, I wrote a lot for match 1 and match 2. But match 3, match 4, match 5, I was falling asleep. I'm sorry.
It was late where he was.
I committed to a schedule, and I had to do work. So Triple H opens up, and he looked so proud. He was like, "Oh, I'd rather, he essentially said I'd have to be dead for me not to be here," which was
pretty sure
cool.
he did say that.
And that's exactly what he said. His words, not mine. First match of the card, it was Asuka, which when she debuted, I called her Asuka. I don't know why. I'm a
Did you? I don't know if you saw it, but on their YouTube channel, they spelled it Auske or Ka.
Oh, really?
And everyone in the comments was like, "Oh, cool. She looks the same as I don't know how to say her name, Azuka."
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. It was just funny reading the comment section. That was the bit. I feel bad because the championship match wasn't as good. The NXT Divas Championship match.
Oh, I was gonna say, are you out of your mind?
No, I'm saying the Divas NXT Championship. Calm down.
Oh yeah, but I actually rated that a really high one, just for aesthetic value.
The back and forth was amazing. I really liked that.
Asuka versus Emma with Dana Brooke. Asuka did pull out the W. It was a very back and forth technical match, which I love to see. Because especially nowadays, more of the flashy, taunt here, taunt there. It was a very back
a lot of the divas do that.
It was a nice technical match. I started dying when Asuka did that thing off of the apron. I legit put LMAO. Asuka sat on Emma's face.
She did a lot of stuff with her ass in that match, didn't she?
Yeah, and it was like, it's a hip tackle. And why is it that I've been watching this since I've been born, and I just feel like I've never heard of a hip tackle.
Until Naomi.
I've been watching this for 17 plus years. I should know but I just don't. And anyways, Dana Brooke, she was not essential to the match, but she did partake in it, barring a distraction. And I'm glad that the ref did not disqualify Asuka for that. That
I was waiting for him to.
But I'm glad that they didn't, because that would have honestly ruined the match.
Yeah, yeah.
And oh my gosh, it was hilarious. I started cracking up when the ref would count 1. The crowd would go 2.
I know. I was like, I was really wondering what the hell that
2,
was.
3.
What is that?
4, 5. They're just messing with the ref. The chants were unbelievable. They started singing a song. And
I can't tell if that crowd is either really nice and really appreciative of how well they wrestle, or if they just like screaming and being assholes. I can't tell.
NXT is great. It's like,
No, I'm talking about like London and stuff like that. The crowd's always amazing. They're always loud.
Yeah, especially like after Mania, it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I cracked up after that, and and another thing I jotted down, when Emma does the dilemma, I cannot wait for her to hit her head on the apron. Like, like I cannot wait.
At the end of the match, I don't watch NXT like at all because my internet's slow. But now I'm gonna start because we're doing this. So who was Emma with? What's her name?
Dana Brooke. She pisses me off more than any superstar on both.
I just remember her debut. It was like a stripper coming out, but she handed Emma her belt. Oh. And I thought she was going to get disqualified, but she didn't, so that was okay. So I rated it 8 out of 10 because that match was pretty awesome, back and forth, and yeah.
I rated it 10 out of 10. It was very good. It was in the beginning. It was a very good technical match, and then in the middle, it was a very good hard hitting match, and then at the end, it was a very close and back and forth, and there wasn't a clear winner because you didn't know if interference was going to be a big part, or you just didn't know. There wasn't a clear winner, and I like how Asuka picked up the W. My rate's a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Yep. The NXT Divas are...
That's a big rating.
Alright. Segueing into match 2 of the card, we have Dash and Johnson versus... My name is Enzo Amore.
Calm down.
And Big Cass. I was going to do the whole intro, but I don't feel like it. Basically, good... Dash and Johnson won. The only thing that bothered me about that match is that Dash and Johnson didn't... They looked like that they didn't know what to do, or they didn't know what they were doing.
I don't even know who they are.
I don't either. But I like Enzo and Big Cass. They are by far my favorite tag team in NXT. They've been my favorite since I started to watch. I got their thing down. When I went to Albany in May, that's where I got the shirt. When I went to Albany in May, I saw them. They opened up the show. It was amazing. Like, it was vibrating how much these people were just doing Enzo's intro. It was great. Basically, it was a good back and forth. Classic heel strategies were taken by Dash and Dawson.
I noticed that.
Carmella caused an inadvertent distraction because she thought that Big Cass and Enzo picked up the W, and I had to put my phone over there because it's distracting me. And basically, she didn't mean to. She was doing the whole count thing. And it was a very good match, but Enzo and Cass have never held the goal, and they've been there since the beginning. And I feel like it's time that they really need to take those belts.
I don't know if you noticed, because you're kind of a fanboy of that team, but Big Cass was a little sloppy. Yeah,
just a little bit. And like, Enzo, why do you have those overalls on? Like,
he took it off like
I know
5 seconds into the match.
My thing is that Enzo, I like him a lot, but he's just not the best wrestler.
The ending was sloppy too. I don't know what they did. Because
I feel like it was rushed.
Yeah. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I gave it a 9.8 out of 10.
Dawson and Dash got the win.
So that was a very good. I loved it.
Yeah.
Match 3, Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews.
Oh my God, such a great match.
Now, before we even start this, when I went to Albany in May, it was Tommy Dreamer versus Baron Corbin, and Tommy Dreamer did a roll-up pin, and his pants got like down, and there's this guy in front of us, and he was so hilarious. Like, Tommy Dreamer's like 90. My grandma can last longer or something like that. It was hilarious. But the crowd's starting, and I of course joined. They're like, Baron butt cheeks.
Nice.
That was great. But I'm just listing key points that I thought of during the match. Corbin said that he should have stayed in Ring of Honor, which I thought.
Oh, I wrote that down too. I was like, that's insane. Even the announcer brought it up, but he didn't like. He didn't say exactly what it was.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa. I'm pretty sure he had a talking to after that match.
Yeah.
There's a certain chant that might be derogatory. So
I couldn't understand what most of those chants were.
There was a "fuck you Corbin" chant.
Oh, there was?
There was a "fuck you Corbin" chant. I'm like, what are they saying? Like, "Fuck you Corbin." But anyways, at the beginning of the match was kind of bleh.
The entire match was kind of bleh until
I rated this
the very
match
end.
High. But I like how.
Did you say you rated it high?
Oh, really high. I loved it.
What? Really?
Alright, I was really tired, and I just thought everything was amazing.
I did not like it at all.
I like how the apron moonsault to Corbin, that was amazing. Apollo Crews is a combination of Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, and Shelton Benjamin. Easy.
Yeah, but here the problem I had with the match was nothing really happened until like the last couple minutes. The entire match. This is the reason I rated it low. The entire match was Baron Corbin throwing him outside the ring, talking trash basically, and then the last couple minutes is when Apollo Crews, right? Apollo Crews.
Yep.
That's when he started doing the flips and shit, and when he actually started showing his athleticism, and then it ended. So I gave it a 6 because I didn't like it very much.
And I want to say one more thing about this match. There's a whoop, there it is chant. It was great.
What?
Yeah. I think it was toward the end, like, whoop, there it is. Whoop,
so
there
weird.
it is. And during the Bayley-Nia Jax match, they started to sing a song.
What was the finish? Because I wrote down cool finish. What was it?
Basically the moonsault, and then Apollo Crews was going to do his finisher, but it's the end of days.
Yeah, I like the finisher. That was pretty nice.
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.
All right, now we're going on to match 4 with Nia Jax versus Bayley. Bayley picking up the W.
So I'm gonna tell you the entire match. Bayley got destroyed, and then the very last second, she put her in a very weak submission, and then won.
I kind of liked how Bayley kind of asserted her dominance. Just the fact that she's champion and she can take down even bigger opponents than her, and I like that the match might have been boring, but if you really look deeper into that match, it was that Bayley showed heart, she showed bravery, and this might just be storyline.
She got killed.
She got absolutely destroyed. Her resiliency was incredible.
The thing is, I think they might have done. How did she kick out of all of those Samoan drops and stuff? It seems like it was too much, like not realistic at all. That's the problem.
By the way, I want to touch upon this at TLC, but I'm going to now, and there might be a picture here. I don't know. It was when Roman Reigns Samoan dropped Sheamus into a ladder and it broke. We forgot about that.
What?
I watched it.
Oh yeah, dude! How did we forget about that?
But there should be a picture. It was amazing. Anyways, we're going off topic. Bayley basically had her in this I don't know what hold they
It
called
was like
that.
I don't know. It was like some sort of kind of, and not really a choke, but anyway, she had like a headlock basically on her, and just her, what's her name, Nia Jax. Her body was completely bent over, and it was a good submission, but it just seemed like it was a crappy ending. I really did not expect her to tap out at that, and apparently that was her first loss as well, Nia Jax.
Yeah, and which is it's not surprising, but it's just nice that Bayley won.
I gave that match a 5.
I gave it a 7.9.
I was gonna give it a 4.
Then I gave it an 8.8 repeating over 10.
Well, I was gonna give it a 4, but I gave it a 5. So I don't know. I felt disappointed in that match.
All right, match 5. Samoa Joe versus Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe and the Coquina Clutch versus Finn Balor and the Coup de Grace. Basically, that match was incredible. I loved the build-up to it.
He brought back his demon.
I love it. I just don't know. I want to review this match in all of its entirety. But it's just there's so many points. It was such a back and forth match. Basically, Joe had that match for the beginning of it. And I don't know if I'm saying this. His Coquina Clutch.
I'm not
basically,
sure.
he tried to do that twice, and Balor reversed it both times. And it's just... It was amazing. It was back and forth, and it was a very physical match. There's a lot of stuff on the outside. Joe is one of the best strikers ever.
There was a lot of kicks to the face.
There was a lot, and my eye is throbbing. I don't know why.
Nice.
But Finn Balor did retain his championship with the Coup de Grace.
Was he hurt?
He was, because it wouldn't be storyline just to have a doctor there, because they didn't really touch upon it. But it looked like he was, and I think he got dizzy because he was like doing this, and
I thought he was saying like when he came down he hurt something. I thought that's what he was saying. But I'll look on here. There will be an edit real quick right here. I'll tell you guys if he was injured or not right now. So I didn't see anything about Finn Balor being injured. We will let you know in the next Golden Wrestling Talk, but I didn't see anything about him being injured.
Yep.
So just to be up to date, I rated that match a 9 out of 10.
I rated that match a 10 point holy shit over 10.
Well, out of the entire show, I rated a 7 out of 10.
I rated it a 10 point impressed over 10.
You're just like with the 10.
It was amazing. But oh, and I like how, well, I don't really like it. I don't really care. But Sami Zayn is going to return next week on NXT. It's going to add some more high caliber superstars that have already reached the top. So that's going to be fun.
Do you want to talk about what's going on next week for Tribute to the Troops and all of that?
Oh, yes. We have to touch upon that because WWE decides to do everything all wacky because of Christmas. So, basically, Tribute to the Troops is Sunday. Raw is Monday. There's going to be a live SmackDown on Tuesday. NXT's on Wednesday. So, what is either going to happen is we're going to watch all those on the day that they air, and we're going to talk about that day. Or we're going to just have it singular, and we're just going to add it in one video. Or we're going to do what we normally do and just do Tribute to the Troops in Raw and that live SmackDown in NXT. So you should get a video either... You should get two videos, either one on Wednesday and one on Christmas, maybe? Or a large one on that Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really decided yet.
Also, I wanted to bring up the last episode, the Raw and TLC episode. There was like a 30-second freeze. Don't know why that happened. That never happened to me before. Just bringing that up just in case you're going back to watch that for some reason. Because, you know, old news.
Yeah, it was a weird stop in both audio and cam.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But, yeah, that was Raw, SmackDown. I almost said Raw.
Oh, calm
and
down.
NXT Takeover London. NXT Takeover overall, amazing show. Triple H opened, made it. It was great.
Remember, if you guys like Golden Wrestling Talk and you would like us to keep going, we're going to keep trying this for like a month or two. Hopefully people like it. And if it keeps going in views and people keep rating it up, then we will keep going. Hopefully you guys do. But I'm on 1321.
I'm Golden Weavile Gang.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
Nuke.